Hey, everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What's shaking on your Thursday night? Yeah, your Thursday night. Hope you're having a good one tonight. It's another exciting episode of Overrated, Underrated, the internet sensation that's sweeping the nation. That's right. We got some good ones for you here this time, too, boy. Let me tell you. Yes, sure to inspire controversy and anger and dietary unrest, lower colon excitement. Hey, right now, right this minute, like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell, all those things that are free. It don't cost you anything, just a click. And they help us out with the algorithm, the almighty, all-powerful, all-seeing algorithm. And plus we have super chats and we have memberships. And, both of those things we love because it's money. And Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. But also, if you look in the scroll at the bottom of the screen, you can tell how to turn on your gifted memberships. Please do that. Generous people here gift them all the time. And then you've got access to that exclusive members-only comment that everyone craves. People saying hi. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet, as verified by independent sources. Chef is on the couch. Chef getting a well-earned break. Hope you're not sick. Always love it when the chef's here. Chef is on desk. Crispy says, Tom, the entire Tom word all spelled out with a hard R. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Max Carroll is here checking in, he says. Welcome, Max. And people just get comfy. We got some good stuff for you here. We'll get to it in a couple minutes. Tomorrow night, I have no idea what the show's about, but Monday night, we will have a very special guest star, and that will be the one and only Metal Maiden Vicky from SonicAsylumRadio.com's Metal Maiden Vicky's Metal Euphoria. She's in the chat room all the time. You know her, you love her, you can't live without her. And she'll be our special guest. There we go. Let's see, Doc says, and don't forget, you can call in. Tom, love you long time if you call in. Yes, when the phone lines are open at the end of tonight's exciting presentation. Ariana May is here. Always good to see her. And that little urchin there in the cool hat and the shades, both of them have shades on. They're both cool. That's just cool. There's nothing else you can say about it. Mm-hmm. Overrated and underrated, yes. We might as well get started, although people are saying hi, because, again, we do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet, is verified by independent sources, and to make sure it's cheerful, we've already gotten rid of somebody. So that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. We keep our viewership, our chat room where you can watch. I think if you get banned, you can still watch the show. But we just like a civil crowd, a smart crowd in here. We don't need any lower downs. Is that Nike? You have to give me interesting. Nikki, try not to get banned before the overrated and underrated, because there's one of the things that we're going to rate that you'll be interested in. Doc says, not calling in overrated. Yeah, well, we'll get to that as soon as we're done with all the rest of the junk. Abracadabra says, Tom, why wouldn't you define disco? Why would I? Why wouldn't I? I mean, I got nothing against disco. Did someone ask me to define it and I wouldn't? I don't think. I mean, is there a definition? Disco is just dance music, right? It's dance music of any. Because it started off with, Abracadabra. By golly, where's my list? I've got a million lists here. Here's one. We'll just put disco on it. We're doing Abracadabra for you. We are doing a show on disco. As a matter of fact, Abracadabra, tomorrow night's show. Tomorrow night, we will do, let me tell you about disco. Bam! Boom, shakalaka. Just that quick, just that simple. Covers quick with no excuses. There we go. How about that? What other show's going to do that for you? Tomorrow night, let me tell you about disco. Thank you, Abracadabra, for the show suggestion. I'll give you a... Well, hey, you know what you get for that? You get the point. Yes, the highly sought after point. The Tom Gulley Show point. There you are. There you are. Max Carroll says, if you can call in tonight, it'll change your life. I can feel it. Dreaming about vampire fish, underrated. Dreaming, yes, dreaming. But item number 1 tonight on Overrated, Underrated isn't dreaming about it. It is, yes, of course. Thank you, StreamYard. There you go. The vampire fish. The vampire fish. We covered it in detail last night. If you weren't here last night, okay, imagine a fish that is going to swim up your, well, your private parts and start sucking blood out of you and filling it up in that giant sack there, and its eyes are yellow, and it has claw teeth, and it's really thin. It's translucent, by the way. That's why it looks like it's the color of the stuff behind it. So you can't see it coming. It hides out in shallow, warm waters. The vampire fish, overrated or underrated? I put it to you, chat room. The vampire fish, overrated, underrated. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, I thought I escaped it. Well, you did, but just, we only got it for a second. Max Carroll says, sounds like a fun time. Yeah, who wouldn't like that? That sounds like a real good time. The vampire fish, is it overrated or is it underrated? I would have thought this would be an easement. Oh, yeah, underrated. Definitely a beast. Okay, well, Max Carroll thinks the fish is underrated. Ariana May says, I like to never hear about that fish again. So, overrated. There we go. Overrated. Let's see here. Doc says, Max Carroll, I'll pass. I'm going to take that as an underrated. Yeah, that's underrated. Yeah. Eugh, the vampire fish. Claw teeth, yellow eyes, swims up your privates, can't be pulled out due to the fins, translucent, underrated for horror movie potential. That's certainly true. That's worse than a piranha, if you ask me. Piranha is at least a straight up fish. It looks you in the eye and says, I'm going to chew you to death. This thing sneaks up on you and or even another fish. It just swims up next to it and then right into the gills, and it's Katie bar the door. Hail Rumpled. People saying hi to Rumpled Trenchcoat, a Columbo podcast. If you haven't checked that out, then you need to. G1313 says, sounds like a bad ex. I'm going to call that overrated. There we go. The vampire fish. Man, I thought last night's show was one of the best. Sometimes you do a really good show and then nobody watches it. Sometimes you do a real crappy show and everybody watches it. There's no telling. People saying hi. But if you haven't checked out Rumpled Trenchcoat, a Columbo podcast, you're in big trouble. Tomorrow night show, disco. Thanks to Abracadaver. I'm going to tell you about disco tomorrow. It's going to be awful. It's going to make you wish for the vampire fish. Max Carroll says, I'm here for the crappy show. Well, you're in luck. But that could be any night. Any night of the week could be a crappy show. You just never know. Hey, by the way, right now, it is underrated. The vampire fish is underrated. So, on a 1, twice, 3 times sold, we have rated the vampire fish to be underrated, which is really, come on. Underrated. But underrated for horror movie purposes, I think, is very, very valid. Now, who was here earlier that I said? Oh, it was Nikki or Nike or whatever. I don't know how it's pronounced in your land, wherever you're from, Nikke. Item number 2 will be of interest to you if your avatar is any indication. Item number 2 to be rated overrated or underrated tonight on the Tom Gulley Show is, yes, anime. Anime. Japanese anime. Is it overrated or is it underrated? Overrated or underrated? Man, I tell you what, there's a lot of it out there. And these kids today seem to really like it. They know the names of all the directors and everything. I remember seeing it back in the early 90s. Akira, what's the name of the thing? Yuritsukidoji, Legend of the Overfiend, which is really dirty as well as being anime. Max Carroll's got it in as overrated. Gene's got it at overrated. Doc says anime, hard underrated. Rumble Trenchcoat says underrated. Some really great stuff out there. Yes, but Akira you can watch. Don't watch Yuritsukidoji, Legend of the Overfiend. It's filthy dirty. Filthy dirty. Nike says it's underrated. Well, I saw that coming a mile away. Ariana May says overrated. Coach Mike Rodick says overrated, but I'm old and don't understand it. There's nothing to understand. It's just a certain thing. Yeah. Max Carroll says a couple of are good, most are crap. Definitely some hidden gems, but you'll never hear about them because everyone doesn't shut up about the trash. There's something to that. I think when anime first started, most of it was very high quality. But at a certain point, we got into Sailor Moon, and I don't know how you feel about Speed Racer, but there definitely was a point there where we reached saturation level on anime, and there is a ton of very bad stuff. Anime has kind of reached the same level as television. Television has some great stuff, but most of it, not that good. Right now we have anime. I demand a recount. I said overrated. Oh, overrated. I'm sorry. You did say that. Well, I'm good. I'm glad you said that because that now makes it final, our verdict. And you do have an anime avatar there, my man. That's why I thought maybe you'd be interested in this. Overrated anime. Item number 2 tonight on overrated, underrated. Anime is overrated. It's overrated. I was hoping my good friend Terry Nee would be here tonight, but I'm sure some others of you will have very strong opinions about item number 3 tonight on overrated, underrated. And that is, some of you won't care at all. Some of you won't care at all. Some of you, though, will have been listening to the talk. There's been a lot of talk, and you will care. That is because tonight's item number 3 on overrated, underrated is, yes, NFL officials, NFL referees. NFL referees, are they overrated, underrated? I picked out this particular referee who's been retired now for a couple of years. And, Julian Caesar says, overrated? No way. Well, even with your vote, Julian, we overrated still wins. I'm sorry. Patrick Carroll says, Max Carroll says, all hail Patrick Mahomes. Well, that's it. Way overrated. I'm going to take Max's to mean underrated, and then we're going to get an overrated. And this is Ed Hockley, who's, I think, one of his kids or nephews or something, is now a referee. But he was a referee in the NFL for a long time. And his big thing was he would be out in the super cold weather and have short sleeves on, and he worked out a lot. So he had these big arms, and all the announcers just loved going, look at the guns on him. Oh, look at him. He's so... I don't care if the guy is spindly leg wearing Coke bottle glasses, if he gets the calls right. And Ed Hockley frequently, you can read his wiki page, got the calls wrong a lot. A lot. What Doc said Coach Mike Rodick, and frankly, a coach would know. Julian Caesar says, just a joke about Ariana May's name. Oh, okay. I got you. Ariana, I got you. I wasn't paying attention. Rumple Trenchcoat says, overrated. I feel like their job could be done by someone in a booth looking at camera footage. I feel that way too. I also feel like they could put a chip. They've done it in soccer for a long time now. They put a chip in the ball that tells when it's completely over the line. Anyway. Max Carroll says, the refs have the true power. Once everyone sides with them, we will have the ability to see the true winners. Oh, he's saying they're underrated. I already got you in at underrated. And overhated, says Nike. Overhated right now. Gene's got him at overrated. All right. Julian Caesar says referees in the NFL are underrated. Never much controversy about them being on the take or something like that. So they are underrated. Okay. You're on the take. Well, that's because they're good at it. I don't know if they're on the take or not. I know they're not that good. Overrated unless you're a Chiefs fan. Well, that's what a lot of people think right now. There's been a lot of talk about that. But all the spotting of the ball, put a chip in. It's that easy. Max Carroll says, go Birds. So you want the Eagles to win. All right. I didn't care until recently. And now I don't care even more because I'm not a big fan of... Never mind. Let's not get into it. It's a sport that isn't my favorite sport, and I don't really have a dog in the fight. NFL referees, by your vote, overrated. Overrated. Oh, man. But Ed Hockley out there with his arms and all the announcers going, but look at him. He really works out. Yeah, and he sucks. Anyway, but that's football. Look at him. He got big arms. Yeah. By the way, do you know who the top scorers in NFL history are? Guys that weren't good enough to play soccer. The kickers. That's right. Think about that for a while. Julian Caesar says he works out in the front of the medicine cabinet. Yeah. He's got those 5-pounders. He does isometrics or something. Let me tell you something else about football. 1 hour game takes 3 hours to play, and there's only, and I hate to tell you this, there's only 11 minutes of actual athletic competition during a pro football game. 11 minutes. That's all. From the time the ball is snapped to the time the ball is blown dead. If you just take that time, snap of the ball till the whistle blows, play is dead, and you add it all up, 11 minutes. People say soccer is boring. This is Carl's number one pay peg. Ed was hot for sure. Yes, he was. Gilman says Phil Dawson. I don't know who Phil Dawson is. I know who Lenny Dawson was. But maybe fill us in on that, Phil Dawson thing, Gilman. Item number 4 tonight on overrated, underrated. Oh, wait, hold on. It's actually 10 minutes more than the soccer game that basically comes down to 1 minute of corner and penalty kicks. No, soccer never stops. There's no timeouts. It's constantly being played. Now, there is a certain amount of what they call stoppage time or injury time, but it's only a couple of minutes. So, no, they're always playing. They're always playing. Doc says, I know who Phil McCracken is. Yes, he works on a lot of construction sites. Let's see here. You're going to have to explain to me how soccer players run 10 miles or something during the game if there's... Anyway. Also... most popular sport in the history of mankind on Earth. Oh, kicker for the Browns, Hall of Famer. Did not know that. I'm pretty sure Phil was friends with Sofan. I always heard that the first name was Anita. But anyway, item number 4. This one's sure to generate controversy. I know where I stand on this particular issue, and that is, let's see here. Golfers walk 7 to 10 miles. You don't hear them bragging about it. Well, come on, that's walking. And another guy carries their clubs, except that one tournament, if they even do that anymore. The Wolf is here. He's saying hi to all those people. Incidentally, I might point out that the NFL finally got smart last year, not this past season, the one before, and got an actual soccer player to do the kicking for the Dallas Cowboys. I think he did pretty well. Not the retreads. Wolf is on deck. Yes, he is. Then This one, what's your favorite FC? Well, that would be Arsenal. Arsenal. People saying hi. The Arsenal. The Arsenal. You bring a gun, baby. We'll bring an arsenal. Yes, sirree. Item number 4 tonight on Overrated, Underrated. This one will generate tremendous amounts of controversy. I have a particular take on this person, and that is Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart, overrated or underrated? Now, please, vote your own conscience here. But I got to tell you, when Martha Stewart was first hitting the scene, I didn't like her. I thought she was stuffy. I thought she was a little bit bourgeois, a little bit upper crust. She was just a little too low-key for me. But as time went along, I really learned more about Martha Stewart and learned to like her a lot. I really, 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 really like Martha Stewart. The Wolf hates her, says overrated. She's very rich, too, by the way. Doc says she's overrated. Max says she sold me crack behind the hospital, so therefore underrated. Gene says overrated. Kim Warfield says she's hated by all. Oh, no, she's not. Snoop Dogg likes her. There you go. This is one of the reasons I like her. That woman had absolutely no problem. I mean, after she got out of jail, she just went, you know what? I don't care anymore. And if you've ever seen the Comedy Central roast, where it's the Justin Bieber roast, she takes down everybody on that stage, and I mean brutally. And I don't care if joke writers wrote it for her. So, yeah, she's got quite she's kind of a out there gal. I'm telling you. I like her. Julian Caesar says, Martha, not my cup of tea, but you have to admit, she really defines a successful TV genre. Underrated. Well, there we go. Rumple Trenchcoat says, underrated. She was pretty remarkable and really got hosed for insider trading. You know what, though? I agree that she got hosed, but she got hosed because of her own hubris. If she'd have made a deal with those people, they'd have let her off the hook super easy. But she fought them, and when you fight the feds on something like that, they go, okay. And then they do the thing. Coach Mike Rodick says, overrated. The Wolf says, that's my point. Snoop is trash. Snoop is gone so mainstream now. Not even funny. RMA says, underrated. There we go. And Nikki says, overrated. Well, look what we have here. It appears to be a tie with only one person left to cast a vote. And that person is me. I like how irreverent and I'll try anything. And, I believe me, at first, I didn't like her. Really didn't. When she was, Dupa's in there with an underrated. So we got another underrated, another overrated. Right is wrong and wrong is right. She did her time, man. She paid the cost for being the boss. She did the crime and then she did the time. And she kept her eye on the sparrow. Dupa is here. She says, hello, Tom and chat. Hello, Dupa. Good to see you. I'll just remind you, look at this, the Wolf. Dupa, how could you? Hiya, Dupa. By the way, Dupa reminds me that on Monday night, our very special guest star on this program will be the one, the only, often imitated, never duplicated, Metal Maiden Vicky of SonicAsylumRadio.com's Metal Maiden Vicky's Metal Euphoria, which you can hear Saturdays from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time at SonicAsylumRadio.com. And people saying hi. And people saying hi. And Gilman says, underrated and still attractive. She's very old. Yeah, she's kept it together. The more I learned about her, the more I learned she's kind of an out there party. And, I highly recommend that you search out that Justin Bieber roast. You really need to, and see her take down everybody. And I mean brutally. And people saying hi, yes. Oh, let's see. What do we got here? It is still a tie. I'm going to say she's underrated. There. Wolf says she's hideous. Words that have never been said to one Kim Warfield. Tell us how you really feel. Nobody's ever said that to him, ever in his entire life. I swear to God. I swear to God. I'd like to hang out with her. I think she'd be a blast. I really do. Item number 5 tonight on overrated, underrated may take a little explanation, and I wrote it down here. Oh, here it is, yes. It's all the rage, has been for a couple of years, and that is ASMR. ASMR. Have you heard of it, kids? It is autonomous sensory meridian response. Okay? And let's see, the underside of my daddy bags look more attractive than her. Hey, that's conjuring up way more images than I really ever wanted to know about. Let's see here. ASMR, and that is a feeling of well-being combined with a tingling sensation in the scalp and down the back of the neck as experienced by some people in response to a specific gentle stimulus, often a particular sound like whispering voices, paper tearing, and scalp massage, or just kind of a tonal thing that's in some of these ASMR videos and stuff. Doc says it's underrated. Now where's my score thing? Oh, here it is. It's underrated. ASMR being underrated. Way to go, Doc. I think he already said the other thing earlier. Yeah, he said highly. That was for the ASMR. Underrated. ASMR under. As I say it in a quiet voice, says Gene 1313. There's 2 underrated. Underrated, I'd rather watch soccer. Look, Julian, soccer is the most popular sport. I'll say it again. The most popular sport in the history of mankind on Earth. By the way, per game, it's now the number 3 U.S. sport by per game attendance. We'll be fine without you. We really will. Rumple Trench Coats. By the way, NFL numbers dwindling all the time. Major League Baseball numbers dwindling all the time. NBA numbers I'm just saying. Rumple Trenchcoat says, not my thing, but I'll go underrated since people who like it really like it. Yeah, a lot of people really like it. The Wolf says, are you talking about getting the shivers? Well, kind of. We've got Gilman with underrated. We've got Nikki. Would you please tell me how to pronounce that? I don't want to pronounce it improperly. And frankly, I'm super curious now as to how it is pronounced. So yeah, it's gentle. It doesn't have to be a sound always, but it's usually a sound, and it's like paper being torn or whispering or leaves blowing, or it's this weird. Anyway, the Wolf says, commissioners of sports overrated. Well, you got that right. Who needs them? By the way, like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell. All of those things are free, and they branch the show out to your friends, and more people get involved, and then it's more fun. It only costs you a click, and it helps us with the algorithm, the almighty, all-powerful, all-seeing algorithm. And we have super chats. We have memberships. We'd like to start making money on this program. I don't want to get all, Labor Day telethon about it, but we'd like to. And then there's also free gifted memberships. Please turn on your gifted memberships. Maybe somebody will give one to you. Doc says, agreed, Wolf. Gilman says, it's a harmless vice. Wish I could get the chills from whispering. I'm going to call that underrated. Brother. Let's see here. Chris Cheshire. Very good to see him. He's a very knowledgeable man. ASMR is true. I listened to Amy Bird sing Breakout, and when she sings woo woo, it hit me with joy. I had to look up. Some women can hit a note that causes it to happen. Hi to all. Hello to you, Chris. Good to see you. Everybody say hi to Chris. So I'm going to call that underrated. Let's see here. Doc says, spend those shillings by commenting. Yes, yes. The Wolf says, bluish silhouette with writing next to them. Overrated. This does look like an old school aspirin ad, doesn't it? How perv. It is a little weird. Looks a little like an alien. It says, origin of tingling sensation described as moving downward following the line of the spine. Many also feel this in the shoulders. Sensation may spread to other areas with increasing intensity. Typically the limbs and lower back. Chris says, evening. Good evening to you, sir. And the tip of my cap. Top of the morning to you. Let's see here. The people saying hi to Chris. Oh, here we go. Thank you so much, Rumple Trenchcoat. This is for missing the Wiener Fish episode. Thank you for the $5. Oh, God, the Wiener Fish. You mean this guy right here? This evil, the most evil and awful of creatures that swims up your yin-yang and, yeah, well, reported to swing up. It's reported to swim up your yin-yang. Hey, by the way, for that, our good friend Rumple Trenchcoat gets the point. Hey, how you doing, Hep Cat? Thank you. That's what the point means. You always get that with the point. Sure. And it's even better when you got your own super chat box up there with the point. It's a collector's item. It comes in a set. I got to tell you, right now we have underrated for ASMR mast. Okay, up your mast. Good Lord, that thing is bad as sand spiders. It's worse. They got yellow eyes. They're translucent, so you can see. You can't see them coming. It fills that sack up with blood. They have claw teeth. The fins. I don't want to do last night's show again. Just go back and look at it, and then have the nightmares I had last night. Okay, it is unanimous, folks. I hate to say this. It's unanimous. See that unanimity there? That's unanimous on the fabulous ASMR. I never thought it would. I didn't know how that one was going to go over. You just see it everywhere. Anyway, so item number 6 tonight is, and I think you guys, hopefully people will be into this one. It's been talked about a lot lately, at least in my circles. And item number 6 is the television series Landman, or Landman, or Landman, one of the two with Billy Bob Thornton. The TV series Landman, overrated or underrated? I have my own thing on this. Now, this is one of those Sheridan series where everybody talks tough all the time. Everybody sounds like Rip on Yellowstone. Well, if you wouldn't do that, I'd be, you'll get your own, everybody's got their tough talk. You're smarter than the bug on the, which I'm getting a little sick of. But I do love this series because I love Billy Bob Thornton. By the way, Jerry Jones has a scene on this program. I'm like, Jerry, you should quit doing the cowboy thing and become an actor. That was amazing. The Wolf says it's underrated. Doc says it's overrated. Chris Cheshire says, during last Get Smart, the actor you didn't know was Joseph Ruskin. He's the guy holding the gun on 99. He's been in 4 episodes of Mission Impossible. He was just an evil guy in all the movies and all the TV shows. And, yeah. I mean, I could have looked him up, but I just didn't feel like it. But yeah, he the same guy every show, pretty much. Rumble Trenchcoat says, I have to abstain. I've never heard of this show. Let's see here. You should check it out if you can. It's on Paramount. Gene says, can't say, I haven't seen. The Wolf says, if you listen to people, the majority talk trash. They do. Everybody down here in Texas, they love this show. Absolutely everybody thinks it's the greatest. And the clips get switched. Jerry Jones, though, if you can find that clip, Jerry Jones has a monologue. It's a long monologue. And he knocks it out of the park. And as you people know, I'm not the biggest Jerry Jones fan of them all. I mean, I'm not a hater in the world we live today. You know, sports. He is scrappy. What did I think about Jerry's performance? I thought it was amazing. God, it was incredible. I was like, Jerry, all right. And then, of course, 3 weeks later, he goes out and does what he did with the head coaching choice. Still an amazing performance. The Wolf says, well, we had a discussion, and there were several viable candidates. As you know, coaching the Cowboys is a very, very lucrative opportunity for a head coach. But in the end, I looked down the hallway and said, which one of these coaches will do everything I say and make a lot of excuses for me and never act like we actually lost the ball game in the press conference. Hey, Brian Schottenheimer, yeah, get on over here. Didn't your daddy coach? All right. Okay. Right now it's tied up 1-1 with Landman because nobody's seen it. I'm calling it underrated, and we're moving on, ladies and gentlemen. We're moving on because I know this next one. This next one, oh boy, everybody's gonna have an opinion on item number 7. And yes, our final item tonight on Overrated, Underrated, the internet sensation that's sweeping the nation and that always tanks in the number of views. We were on such a roll there. We were just bam, 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 just more and more and more and more. And then I did the vampire fish episode, which for inexplicable reasons, nothing. And then all of the overrated, underrateds just don't perform at all. But if you think that's going to make me stop doing them, you're crazy. I guess you don't know me too well. So we're going to call Landman underrated. Which one can give me a continued mediocre record and no playoff wins? Now, I take exception to that because prior to this year, they were 12-4, 3 straight years, and not a mediocre record. But then they go to the playoffs and lose. They get trucked in the playoffs. All right, item number 7, the final item. And I know everybody knows about this one, and I know everybody's going to have an opinion about this one. That's why I put it on the list in the anchor spot. And that is the well-known rock band, Kiss. Kiss, overrated or underrated? Is the band Kiss overrated or underrated? Everyone on earth except people that are fans of Kiss. How do you pronounce it, dude? I'm gonna call it Nikkei. There, I'm calling it Nikkei until you tell me how to pronounce it differently. Easiest overrated of my life. Gilman, overrated. The Wolf, overrated. Chris Cheshire says, I'm going to just pretend that says rated. Let's see here. Overaged. Yeah, well, that's true as well. They are overaged. Very overaged. So far, everyone's got them overrated. I'm back. Back in the New York. That's the only song of theirs I like. Rumple Trenchcoat says, overrated. I like maybe 3 of their songs, and Simmons is insufferable. Isn't he, though? Gene Simmons, like, he will tell you that Well, Kiss is the number one most popular band in the world. More Kiss memorabilia. Shut up. The chef said, I saw AC/DC open up for a Kiss, my first concert. I bet you they were overrated too. Gilman says, Ace was talented. Ace was talented, and Gene ran him out of the band. Doc says, Kiss ain't a band, though. It's a business, an overrated business. They sell Kiss coffins. I'm not joking. Julian Zeta says, overrated. They're the only hard rock band whose best song is disco. Well, actually, their best song is a ballad, isn't it? Beth, I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now. It's me and the boys are playing, and we just can't find the sign. I think that's their biggest hit. Gene says they're overrated. Let's see. We got nothing but overrated. And by the way, hello, chef. Hello. Is that going to be two unanimous in the same show? It happens so rarely to have two in the same show. I thought there would be at least one. And it's too bad Metal Maiden Vicky isn't here, because I'm sure she would have, because she's such a fan of metal. Not that these guys are metal, but she would be able to find something positive about them. That's just sort of the person that she is. But right now, we're pitching a shutout on overrated. Why prolong the inevitable? Why not just a first in Tom Gulley Show history? And just for pointing that out, you get the point. Yes, just for making that observation, Doc Torn. I think with that being said, I would hope metal would have better taste. I'm not saying that she would even like them, but she's always able to find some glimmer of, this is why they're important, or this is a good thing about them. Ariana May says, sliding in with another overrated. Gilman, and this is the thing, I do love Mini Kiss. I gotta say, Mini Kiss, I don't mind. I kind of like them. I wish they were Mini Who or something, but yeah, the small people, I know exactly what you're talking about. Maybe we'll put them on next week's deal. By the way, Abracadaver, up in the earlier portion of tonight's show, we're doing disco tomorrow. Tomorrow the topic will be disco. People saying hi to the wolf. Let's just go ahead and open up the phone lines for the rest of the program. Yeah, tomorrow, disco. Disco. Cover the whole damn thing. People saying hi. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet. It's verified by independent sources. Gene says, okay, they can put their eyeliner on well. I don't know, man. Yeah, I guess. That's good. And one of them is a kitty cat. One of the kitty cat. Hi, Mr. Wolf. One of them's a kitty cat. He's just a little kitty cat. I'm the Lord of Thunder. I'm a space angel. I'm a lion. Or whatever the other one is. And I'm a kitty cat. And I'm just going to be a kitty cat. Never understood that. Disco here, disco there. Chris Cheshire, I'm sure, remembers the disco craze. Doc says, where did disco? Punk rock killed it. Just killed it. Just stomped on it. And then the new wave came through. Chef says, I saw Peter Frampton open up for The Who. Oh, man, that Frampton Comes Alive album. Everybody had that double album. I'll tell you. Julian Zeder says, I like Gene Simmons' Samurai Demon Mechzilla look. Mechzilla. And the big elevator boots. And all the artwork on that one album. Was it the Destroyer album where they're all on the front of it? And everybody, all the bad kids, all the kids that smoked cigarettes in junior high and high school could do the KISS logo in ballpoint pen on their desk perfectly. What fruit do KISS eat? 2 per Simmons. Poor Shannon Tweed. It's got a... Julian Zier says, unless they can play their songs live, yeah. The Wolf says they had that one album, but only played the one song. That's the truth. That's the truth. Our phone lines are open at 972-994-6822 if anybody wants to call in. If you want to, go ahead. Who cares? Go ahead and call in. We had one of those dabbly people come in here earlier and try to do their dabbly things, and I had to ban them. But I don't ban them from calling. But they don't call. You know why they don't call? They don't want none of this smoke. That's why. That's why. They've called in before, and it hasn't worked out well for them, and so they don't. And that's fine. I encourage them to keep thinking more clearly like that. Let's see here. Gene Simmons was a teacher. Gene Simmons tried to copyright. You ever seen an illustration of a bag that's got a dollar sign on it, like a bag of money? He tried to copyright that so nobody else on earth could use it. And poor Shannon Tweed. Do you know how many videos are out there of Gene Simmons just with nasty women and his aging? Ugh, it's disgusting. But, at a certain point, they stay with the gravy train. I don't understand. I get it. They probably made lots of money on concerts and stuff. And there was even they did like some made-for-TV movies and things. And I'm sure they had good album sales and all that, and merch and whatever else. But it's not like they made tons of money off of royalties on hit records. They didn't have but 1 or 2 hit singles. Look at all the bad rack-exploitation movies she was in. Yes, she was. God bless her. God bless her. Doc says there's this really classy lady who could be awesome called in. I hope she calls in. You're talking about Dupa. She's not calling in. She's not comfortable doing that. One day, perhaps. But we're not going to pressure her. We're just going to tell her how much we admire and respect and enjoy her. And by the way, shouts out to Diana O'Brien. Good thoughts for her. She's going through some very challenging times right now. So Gilman says, Gene has a sex tape out and it's boring. Thought he was a pro in that area. No. There's also like a morning show or something that the two of them were on that Shannon Tweed walked out on. But I think it was a work. I think it was like for the beginning of their show. They had like a Osbourne's type show. The Wolf says we'll have to use extortion on Dupa. I don't know how, but by hook or by hook, we'll get her. By hook or by crook. And Dupa will be, I will not be spindled, stamped, named, filed, or whatever. I don't know the order. I don't know the order of that whole thing. I did get on Facebook like a little notification about that I had used that little tiny clip of that. I just cut it out of the show. It's like, who cares? Who cares? And by the way, Facebook, I thanks for reminding me. Facebook gave me the same error thing that the other place tried to give me on Tom Lehrer. So I got to go back through and do that whole thing with them. It's like, no. And by the way, 3 different companies claimed copyright on it. 3. And I'm like, nope, sorry. That's public domain as it gets. I'll go back there. I'll settle their hash. 972-994-6822. Julian Zito says, did Kiss invent merch? They may not have invented it, but boy, did they perfect it. They're good at that. I will give Gene Simmons that. They merch you to death. You can get a Kiss you want a pillow, you want a shoelace, you want a hat, no matter what, they got an ashtray, lighter, you name it. Kiss will give it to you. They've got it already. By the way, thanks for being here tonight on Overrated, Underrated. I appreciate it very much. I'm about to close the phone lines down here in a couple minutes. Doc says, Facebook tried to copyright strike me when I did a live stream at Mardi Gras Parade. Doc, did they do it for the music in the background? They usually get you on the music, even if it's playing faintly in the background. The Wolf says, we'll have to get her a blue and white piping blazer, white polyester slacks, and pitiful white deck shoes. Yes, and a big button that's got a unicycle on it. No, a tricycle on it with a huge front wheel and a number. God, that is the dumbest looking, with his giant melon head. We're talking about The Prisoner, ladies and gentlemen. Doc says you can get a Kiss anything but an actual Kiss. Oh, okay. Yes, The Prisoner. And they just did it on Facebook. They didn't do it on YouTube because it was like 4 seconds of hardly anything. I so think that these old TV shows that nobody's ever, what I'm promoting that TV show. I'm not making any money off it, so that we can see. And it's like, if I'm sending people to watch that and promoting it, I'm not saying I should be able to use a whole episode or even a scene from an episode, but the opening music or the opening even video graphics, you ought to just go ahead and make that public domain and let everybody use it, or at least give everybody a pass. If there's a way to do it. I'm telling you. Most people are afraid of clown makeup. More people are afraid of clown makeup than Kiss makeup. That's true, Julian. But you know what I'm saying? It's like if I could show the opening of The Rifleman and then talk about The Rifleman, it would make this show 1,000,000 times better, which means more people would watch it. And then I'm promoting that. I'm not, it's like trailers for movies. I could probably play those. I probably should be able to play those. But when you think about it, the purpose of a trailer for a movie or a TV show is to get people to watch it. All right. And so if I, let's say me, Tom Gulley, I produce a big movie, I would say the trailer for this movie is public domain. Anybody can play it anywhere that they want because it's promoting the movie. So I'm not going to try and control it. I want it everywhere. It's like ads. I worked in advertising for years and years and years and years and years. And somebody in my company, it wasn't me, accidentally produced an ad without a copyright on it. And everybody was up in arms. And I'm sitting at the table going, what are you afraid of? Somebody will reproduce the ad and put it all over their neighborhood or use it without your permission? What? It's an ad for McDonald's. It's not like it's going to win an award for artistic merit or anything. You should want that thing everywhere. There's a case to be made for not copywriting it. But they got to copyright everything. You know what I'm saying? Doc Torn says, you, Tom Gulley, me, Doc Torn. But yeah, you would think, wouldn't you think? That it's just like, look, if there's a movie, let's take an old movie. Let's take Gone with the Wind. Why that movie was made in 1938 or whatever it was. Why wouldn't you want me to show the trailer for that movie? Do you think lots of today's youth are watching it? Do you think, it's like, no, it's you released it as a trailer. You wanted movie theaters to show it. Why? So people would watch the movie. Why aren't you, Overrated. Thank you, Gilman. I don't even know what you're referring to, but I'm saying thank you, Gilman. Northern trash, them blue boys, I remember. All right, I'm closing the phone lines. Dejected once again. I'd like to thank Rumpled Trenchcoat for his very generous $5 donation. We more than doubled last night's $2 income on this program. Incidentally, and I'm not going to make it too big of a thing of it, at a certain point, I will stop doing this show if I can't make a little money on it. I know. There's some people are like, finally, when's he going to get the message? But that's just a little, kind of, because, see, I watch other shows. And I'm biased, so I don't think they're as good at this one. But there's shows that you guys, if you saw them, like a 400-pound girl eating a 7,000-calorie hamburger that is just, and the boy, it just comes flying in. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong here? I can't afford to. I hear you, Doc Torn. Gilman says, Gone with the Wind, overrated. Nikkei says, super sticker. That's €1, I believe, $1.49, which is probably worth $50 American. Thank you very much, Nikkei. If you want to, tell me what country you're from so I can worship the soccer players that that are from there. Could be Scandinavian. It's hard for me to say. Really. But tomorrow night, disco. I have no idea, A, what our members-only show will be this weekend, or B, if we will have a members-only show this weekend. And then we probably will. And then Monday night, a very special guest star. She's in the chat room all the time. She's wonderful. And that's Metal Maiden Vicky from SonicAsylumRadio.com's Metal Maiden Vicky's Metal Euphoria, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Chef says, say goodnight, Gracie, everyone. Good night. The Wolf says, Liverpool fan. Well, you're a fan of livers in a pool? Because Liverpool is, as you know, one word. And yes, be a front runner. They're leading the league right now. Gilman says, for Super Bowl week, watch The Most Crucial Game, season 2, episode 3 of what? I might just tried to send a banana, but I guess it didn't show up. Why would you send a banana? I mean, I love bananas, but I don't know why you'd send one. What's the most crucial? Is that from Colombo or I don't know. Oh, Colombo. That's what I figured. Yeah, good stuff. You've never dumped liver into a pool. You've never lived till you've dumped liver into a pool. No, but when I was a kid, I would dump liver anywhere I could. I hated eating liver. Doc says, I was asleep for the last members-only show, sadly. The last members-only show didn't go very well, so don't worry about it. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, of Colombo. Nice, Gil. Nice. You know what I really used to like, and I think the Wolf will back me up on this, and probably Rumpled will as well. Remember back in the 70s and even into the 80s when there'd be like a detective show, and they'd somehow be involved with a pro football team, and the team would have a name like the Skyhawks, the LA Skyhawks, some bizarre, awful name that was nothing like a pro football name. And the jerseys were always like they bought them at a sporting goods store before the episode. They were like one color with one color of, and the helmets didn't have like a pattern on them or anything. They were just a solid color. And usually when they were practicing, there'd be like 12 guys there. There wouldn't be a full team. There'd be like 7 dudes there practicing. I used to love that. Even as a kid, I was going, that's not a pro football team. What are you, crazy? They'd show the stadium where they were practicing, and instead of like a practice field, it would be the stadium. Only it would be like a high school football stadium. There'd only be left for like 5,000 people there. Then when they would show the team actually playing, sort of toward the end of the episode, they would show the Rose Bowl. Like, wait, weren't they at the little? That's not the same. And you knew it was supposed to be the same place because the sidelines were the same. Anyway. Perfect time for Zonk or Bubba to show up for a cameo, or Dick Butkus, or Joe Namath every now and then. Rumple Trenchcoat, a Columbo podcast, says the cheapest possible team uniforms possible. Yeah. And the players were always like poor. They had to help with a heist or something. They made no money. Who will win the Chiefs? Super Bowl. Chiefs minus 1.5. I have no idea. I don't care. I suppose if I had to break down, I'd say I'd like the Chiefs to win. Philadelphia and people from Philadelphia, present company excluded, over the course of my life, some of the very worst human beings I've ever met are from Philadelphia. Now, I know a lot of really cool people from Philadelphia. I think Dupa is from that area, perhaps. I think Ariana May is from the area, but not Philly proper. But, yeah, there's some people from that area that are just... And it's not just me. I mean, they threw batteries at Santa. They booed Julius Erving. They're legend. I mean, they had a prison and a court at the bottom of their stadium. Let's see here. Doc says, I got $50 on the refs to win. Well, that's probably even money. So I don't know. If I really wanted to know who was going to win, and I really cared, I would ask the Wolf. And he says, come on, the Eagles. Is that who you think will win, Wolf, or is that who you'd like to win? Gilman would like the Eagles to win. It's a shame that eagle doesn't show up, but it's a fine eagle in that chat. Is that who you think will win, or is that who you would like to win? Because I want to know who you think will win. Obviously, the odds makers have it as very, very, very close. It's only minus 1.5. So, I also think I would like the Super Bowl more if they would play it the week after the 2 conference championship games. I think that the reason there's blowouts and stuff is that it's too long for teams to have to scheme and watch tape and everything else on the other team. It's, Doc says, welcome, Wolf and Gil. Welcome to the Red Kingdom. I don't know what that is, but let's see here. The Wolf says, no, the Chiefs more than likely. The Eagles have some pass protection issues. Yeah. So, but anyway, tomorrow night, disco. Let me tell you about disco on the Tom Gulley Show. Please share this around if you would. Please share the show with your friends and even more of your enemies. We're just trying to grow this thing. We got to make something happen here. We got to kick this thing up a notch. And I know it's not your problem. It's not your responsibility, but I'm asking anyway. You know, Ariana May says Eagle fans are annoying, destroying the city when their team wins. Well, there's that too. There's that too. So, anyway, you guys are the best. I always appreciate you being here. You're wonderful people, and I'm proud to do this show for you every single night, Monday through Friday. Nikkei says, happy to have been here. H2BH to you, sir. Chiefs are going to win fair and square. Taylor Swift paid good money for it. Well, and, you know, Ariana May, if they don't, you know, I've heard that the haters going to hate. You know the rest. How about Disco Duck? We will probably cover Disco Duck. Doc says, Eagle fans are better than Cowboy fans. Fight me. I don't know. Cowboy fans don't attack people in the stadium and all that. They just don't. They rarely boo the Cowboys and all that stuff. Chris Cheshire said, I told my vampire fish about disco. They asked if it sucks. Well, we've already done a show on Disco Demolition Night, so it's only fair that we do disco. Anyway, I'm looking at that old clock on the wall, and it says, like the Reverend Al Green, it's time for me to get on up out of here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And with all that being said, the only thing left to say is you guys are awesome. You seriously are. Thanks for being here. And till next time, we'll see you next time.